Good afternoon, kiddos. So this is what your room looks like today. You will need your purple journal, but before you do anything in your journal, we're going to go to Scholastic. So when you click on the picture here of the bears, it will take you to a page that looks like this. There are lots of things to do on here, so I'm just going to poke around and show you a few things. The very first thing I want you to do is go to Listen and Read. Now when you click on this, it's going to open it up kind of like the magazine. And if you hit Read Aloud, it will read it to you. Okay? If you prefer to read it on your own, you can read it on your own. If you want to make it bigger, you can make it bigger. When you go to the next page, same thing. You can hit that read aloud button and it will read it to you. So this whole reading is going to give you 5 reasons to love polar bears. Okay? And I want you to think about these because what I'm going to have you do when you're done, so once you finish listening to the Scholastic, I want you to go to your journal and open it to that very next page that you can find that's blank. And here's what you're going to say. I learned that polar bears blank. Also, what else did you learn about polar bears? And finally, what did you learn about polar bears? Now, here's the thing. I don't want you giving me a bunch of facts about polar bears. I want you to give me facts about polar bears that you learned from doing this activity, from reading this, from listening to it. For example, they're going to say they have amazing bodies. Polar bears keep warm. They have fat under their skin. They're going to talk about how they dig their own dens. They're going to talk about how they're really good moms. So I want you to sort of use this as a way to write in your journal. You might even want to pause it and pick 3 things off of here to write. Okay? But really what I'd like you to do is find your journal and you're going to write, this is your starting sentence. I learned that polar bears blank. Also, tell me one more thing. And finally, tell me one more thing. So 3 things you'll need to tell me about polar bears. Okay? When you're done, once you're done with your journal, then you can go back and you can go back to, if you go back to that original page, then there's all kinds of activities you can do on here. You can do a dance break with polar bears. You can go through and learn about some vocabulary words that maybe you didn't know. Okay, we've been talking about finding out and asking questions about words we don't know. There's a game here you can play. You can click on the game. And there's kind of a fun craft if you want to. This one requires you to have a printer. So if you want to do that one, you can. You would just need to print it and have some cotton balls. And that's it. So hopefully this has some great fun stuff in it. When you're finished, make sure that you take a picture of your journal and post it to CISA so that I can see your awesome work. Okay? So again, go ahead and start with listening to the Scholastic. It's going to read it to you. And then once you're done, grab your journal and you can use my slide. So just pause it on that part of the slide where I said, here's what you need to say. Copy that down and fill it out. What are 3 things you learned about polar bears? Okay? So have fun. The last thing I have on this page is that if you click on the pencil jar, there's a draw a polar bear activity. If you've already done it, you don't have to do it. But remember, I love for you to do those drawing activities because it's so great for your fine motor skills and your visual spatial skills. So that's your ability to see where things are on a page and be able to draw them. So it's kind of a fun thing for you to do. Okay? So have a great afternoon, and I can't wait to see what things you learned about polar bears. Just one more thing. Please think about spelling and punctuation and all of those things too. Okay? Think about making sure you have spacing and neat writing. Have fun.